Happy Friday, everybody. It's Jeff Marples. I am going through the MLS today, and I thought I'd do a quick video on view units. You know, if you're looking at buying real estate in the city, you know, priorities change for everybody, of course, but a lot of the people that come to me, they want a view. So, you know, what's the best view I can get for my money? And so, you know, it's all predicated on what neighborhoods and how you're going to get to work and you know, your daily lifestyle. But I wanted to show you a number of view units today from Pacific Heights, Nob Hill, Russian Hill, and go down towards South Beach, just to give you a flavor of some of the bigger buildings. Now, these are buildings, these are high-rise buildings I'm going to show you, not necessarily the old Victorians, because remember, Victorians are going to be a little bit lower on the ground. You're not going to get spectacular views like you would in the condos. And so I am very familiar with these buildings. I've been in them, you know, I've done transactions in them. You know, I do think that whatever you do, if you want a view, do whatever you can to get a view if you could afford it. Because, you know, you want to have that resale capacity where it's like, you know, you want the wow factor. And as much wow as you can get in a unit, that's really important. So I wanted to go through a couple of the listings that are on the market today in some of the buildings and just sort of give you an idea. Here we have 1998 Broadway, mid-century modern building, right? So it's kind of like the old curtain wall or the newer curtain wall construction. You still have a post here in the living room. This unit it seems to me like a corner unit facing south and east, because you're sort of looking towards the East Bay over here. And this is a good view. It's got a nice outdoor patio. Some of the buildings, the co-op buildings, especially on Nob Hill, sometimes you're able to take this window frame and push it out all the way to the deck, which makes it, you know, you increase the size of your living space. Some buildings don't allow that, but this is a little bit of an older renovation. You know, you can look at it, you know, like, okay, we'll look at the tile in the kitchen, you know, but let's just focus on the views. So I think we just did a quick flip of all those. Let's get out of here because we have a number of listings. Let's go back. You know, downtown, I tell you, if you wanted to be close to downtown, a lot of people would just go over to South Beach, you know, where you're finding buildings like the Harrison, One Rincon, Infinity, Lumina, One Hawthorne, the Blue. You know, those are the bigger of the buildings, some of them a little bit more boutique-y, but also very, very good larger complexes. But, you know, one of my preferences, if you didn't really need the gym and you wanted a larger unit, you know, the larger units are not really going to be in South Beach unless you're really going to be paying the higher dollar, because simply because the construction costs of new construction, the developers are really trying to maximize. But when you look at a building like 333 Bush Street, you know, I have seen very large one-bedrooms. I've seen very large two-bedrooms, but look at the views. You're really in this downtown financial district. You're at 333 Bush Street and right next to Montgomery, I think. But you get these dynamic views. From whatever corner, you could have Bay Bridge views, you could have Golden Gate Bridge views, you even have Santa Fe Bridge views, and you might even be able to see it within the view plane over here. I think it's probably going to be right there. But look, you got the pyramid. You get this real dynamic view from this building. I think that some of the units, I'm not too crazy about the layouts, but other units within the building, they're killer. Killer, killer, killer. I think that there's been some renovations just like this one that are off the hook. Storage capacity on some of these units are like a storage room, basically, and it's not even associated with the interior of this unit. It's actually from the hallway, but, you know, great. You can put a wine cellar in it, for crap's sake. Look at the renovation on it. This is a killer building. You know, it's a mixed-use building. You got corporate commercial downstairs, so you have residential upstairs. It's an older building, so you get all sorts of different types of renovation depending on the period. But, you know, you're really in the thick of it, and depending on what corner, you really get some great dynamic views. I mean, seriously, look at that. Nighttime views, guys. I tell you, I love the nighttime views. You know, most people during the day, they want like the Bay Bridge view, say in your one Rincon, you know, I want the Bay Bridge. But, you know, the water does not reflect any light really at night. And so that's one of the things I'm really partial to is the city views at night. Just like the 06 in one Rincon, you know, you get this dynamic city view. But look at that. It's killer. Let's go to another building, guys. 1177 California. Now, there's a few over on California. This is up the hill, obviously. This is Nob Hill. I've seen, you know, this is an older building. It's one of those that, you know, once again, you'll have different levels of renovation, you know, depending on, you know, when somebody renovated. I've seen incredibly new modern. I've seen some kind of wacky. I've seen some classic. You know, and here's one that's like, okay, it's empty. You got some nice wood floors. You got some mirrors. That's a personal taste. You know, you can pull down the mirrors. But look how large it looks with those mirrors, too. You know, you go into a living room space like this, and, you know, you can't really get that over in South Beach. You can't get a room this big. I mean, look at it. You know, I don't think the views are incredibly dynamic. You know, you are facing, God, I think you're facing, this is Gramercy, so you're facing south, right? You're overlooking the little dome that's part of the building. You're up in Nob Hill. The views might not be spectacular, but at the same time, you know, hey, you're up on top of Nob Hill in a really good building. And you're close to just about absolutely everything which you're showing here in the pictures. Let's go on. Says the views out of that unit were good, but they weren't great. Let's go to 1333 Jones. Now this, if you are a mid-century modern guy and you love mid-century modern, this is the building. I have one particular client who's a mid-century expert, and this is the only building that he wanted. And I could get it. You know, I grew up in something very similar, not a high-rise, but I grew up in a showcase house in Pasadena, and lot of windows, mid-century modern, just killer. Look at the views out of this, though. City views. You know, you get north side views. Get a little bit building there. You know, you can see, look, it's got parquet flooring, so it's a little bit older. You know, but guys, you know, I could tear up flooring. But look at that. There's the Golden Gate Bridge, Marin Headland, Sausalito, Tiburon. Not too bad, guys. Not too bad. I've depending on this building, if you are on the east side, I've seen great, you know, especially in that north corner, great views. And remember, this is only on the 5th floor. So we go up, you know, to the 9th floor, to the 10th floor, 11th floor. You know, the views are just going to get better and better. This is a well-positioned building on Nob Hill. It's called the Comstock. It is really a nice one. But when you look at it, look, I mean, once again, we talk about the different level of renovation. So a lot of my clients, I've had clients that are getting into these buildings and they keep them original. This unit has had some renovations because I could see it doesn't have a lot of the dark wood like you would see in the mid-century modern. In this building, you get a lot of the old teak veneer and the big sliders, right? So look at this. I think, you know, you go up this same corner, if you were higher, it would be outstanding. You know, the thing right here, you get a little bit of buildings right here. But look, you're at not even at 1.7, you know, so it's one of these things that, you know, realistically, you get in for the views, you try to negotiate a great deal, and then you renovate to your liking. That's what I would do with that. 1170 Sacramento. So this is very close, but it's sort of on that first block between what it's not Powell, Taylor, I think, at the top. There you go. Like right over the park, right up next to the cathedral, south-facing views. So this unit's going to get a lot of sun. But look, over in the corner, you get some Golden Gate Bridge views. Renovation, older flooring, you know, wide plank looks like. You know, the kitchen's nice. It's just maybe not to your style. That's basically it, right? Nice larger space. Baseboard heat, I'm not terribly fond of the baseboard heat, just from past experience, but I also think it's pretty effective if you could zone it out. Here's one on Hyde Street. So a little bit different flavor. I just wanted to show you, you know, on Hyde Street and Russian Hill, there's a couple buildings right there, plus on Chestnut Street. But this is an older building. Gives you a little bit of flavor for what's out there, you know, an old Victorian. You know, I mean, look at the kitchen. You know, it's like, okay, well, you know, that could definitely not be to everybody's liking. But you also have this classic detail, and you also have nice views, right? I don't think the views from this are as grand, and I think from an old Victorian point of view, look at the size of the windows. You know, and it's not too. It's like normal size windows, right? I got to hurry it up here. I got an inspection going. So 999 Green Street. If you are, once again, a mid-century modern guy, you'd want to take a look at the Eichler Summit. So this is on the leading edge of Russian Hill. I've seen some absolutely amazing views here. Look at that, right? A lot of the people, I have got a couple people that just want the water view in this building. This is the south corner, so you get a lot of city view. But at night, I guarantee you, this would look spectacular at night. And I also think that, you know, you know, a lot of people might, you know, for me personally, I'd take down those curtains pretty quick, right? I mean, it just, they look like they're, you know, for me, they're out of place. But great views, absolutely stunning. Great views at night, a lot of distance, a lot of light will go into this unit, you know, without a doubt. But look at the city views. I mean, come on, at night, those city views are going to be absolutely amazing. All right, let's keep on going, guys, because I'm running out of time. 1070 Green. So on the next block, I was over in this unit this last Tuesday tour. I was actually standing right here. This guy has, whoever lives here, it's a one-bedroom unit, or two-bedroom, I believe. Unbelievable art collection. Unbelievable. I'll turn around and maybe he'll show you the artwork. Look at that, though. I mean, that's just stunning. Here's some artwork over here. Stunning, stunning. There it is. Stunning. Look at that. How can you not like that? Northbound views, guys. Yeah, look at those artwork is phenomenal. Let's go out here to another. I think this was actually a one-bedroom. This is, okay, let's go see if we're going down here. So this is the 06 unit. Now we're out of North Beach and Russian Hill. We are now in South Beach, guys. This is one Rincon. It's it's about a 10-year-old building. It's the one tower that was north of the Bay Bridge. Now its sister building is up. The 06 unit is the northwestern corner, okay? This has absolutely amazing views at night, I guarantee you. I just think it's, you know, you're a little bit further removed from the downtown area, so you don't have too many buildings right on top of you at this point, but you get this Manhattan view. You know, it's, I mean, look at that. At night, it would be absolutely stunning. Look at that from the kitchen. You know, I wish one Rincon had a better countertop, but that's really, the cabinets are great. I think everything in the building I really like. I just don't really like the color of the granite that they selected, but that's a quick, easy fix. Look at that. At night. It's a great unit. The 06 unit, in my opinion, is probably the second most coveted unit in one Rincon. The 02 is the opposite corner, and that's the one with the Bay Bridge view. The Harrison, it's a sister building. This is the building that was erected not too long ago. It was a rental building, and they renovated. Ken Falk did the renovations. It's not for everybody, I grant that. This is what you're looking at. Same corner, but you know the opposite is the layout, and you know I think these are just standard pictures. So let's get it. We're going to go to Infinity, 301 Main. Remember, Infinity and Lumina are basically the same complex. 2 towers, 2 low-rise. Infinity was the marquee one. They took the best and they took it over to Lumina. You get some great water views here, but you also got to be mindful of your other building just here, right? So you do get, you know, some great views, but also it's a mix. You get some great distant views, but you know, great city views, but you might have to contend with another building within your view plane, especially if you're over at Lumina, which is right over here. You got Lumina, and you know, you got 2 towers and 2 low rises of Lumina. So you know, it's best if you could get around it. I think people get over to South Beach because it's awfully convenient, best weather patterns in the city. And there's just a lot to it, which is really nice, you know, walk to work, so to speak. That was your standard unit. And in here is the sister building. But I wanted to show you this because, look, it's 39. So you're almost at the top. I think there's one or two. I think it's a 42 level building. So a couple of units above. Water tank at the top of the other building. But at night, I tell you, at night, it's beautiful. Look at that deck. I don't really care too much for the decks. Freaks me out. I'm always at the glass edge of that looking down, but it's scary as hell. But that's it. And this is that unit that has the long deck. You know, when you get higher up, if you get the larger unit, those decks are on, you know, because on this layout you have two decks. You got the smaller standard deck, and then you get a longer deck. Longer deck is so much better. You know, just because you can spread out, you could actually, you know, you don't feel like you're just like floating in air. More enclosed a little bit. But look at that. At night, come on. It's killer. Look at that view at night. Anyway, guys, I hope this is helpful. You know, I always look at views. I'd love to talk to you about it. Give me a shout if you ever want some recommendations. And you have a very good weekend. Thanks for your time today.